Night, big developments in two 8 on Your Side investigations.
It was devastated.
Doc.
Another family horrified to learn their son's special needs trust missing more than $100,000.
That these people need to be held accountable.
Investigator Brittany Mueller took the story to Florida Senator Rick Scott. Now he's demanding answers.
And it was case closed for local cops, but then Better Call Beckon gets results.
I want to see consequences for actions because in our society today, I feel like it's slipping the wrong way.
Investigator Shannon Beckon's stories have them taking a fresh look at stolen check cases, and now there's an arrest. Good evening, I'm Keith Cate.
And I'm Stacey Scheibel. Thank you for joining us.
Senator Rick Scott making good on a promise to 8 on Your Side. Today, he sent a letter to the head of the Social Security Administration demanding action.
Just days ago, investigator Brittany Mueller took the story of $100 million in missing trust fund money to Senator Scott.
We're turning to you because families are asking for laws to be put in place. Can you enact a law or a bill?
I'll look at it. First off, that would surprise me. That would surprise me if there's no oversight, but I'll find out, and if so, I'll propose something.
And investigator Brittany Mueller joins us live in studio with big developments.
Stacey, Keith, I went to Senator Rick Scott on Monday asking if he will write a bill protecting these vulnerable families who lost their money from their trust at the center. And today he's calling on the head of the Social Security Administration. And now we're asking who approved that loan of $100 million in the first place.
What would you say to the people that took your son's money and haven't repaid it?
I feel like, how could you have any heart whatsoever to take from vulnerable people like my son and so many others?
For most of Connor's life,
I am 13 years old and I am in 8th grade.
His parents, Monica and Jason Byers of North Carolina, were more like therapists rather than parents.
He was born severely premature. He stayed in the NICU for about 3 months.
Connor weighed 1 pound and 9 ounces. Doctors gave him a medical product that left him with a neurological disorder causing brain damage.
He was diagnosed with severely developmental delays, and he has spent, it was about 6-7 years in therapy, physical, speech, occupational.
It led to a medical malpractice lawsuit. In 2014, a trust was set up to take care of Connor at the Center for Special Needs Trust Administration with the money awarded to him in the settlement.
Over the past 10 years, what has that settlement money meant to your family?
Security, to know that Connor needs something.
Monica says there was $330,000 in her son's trust, plus $30,000 of their own money they put in there.
Monica, how much money was gone?
It was about $104,000.
The Byers learned in February, like hundreds of others with special needs trusts at the center, that their money was drained. The center says its founder, Leo Gavani, loaned $100 million to his company, Boston Finance Group, in 2009 through 2020 and has not paid it back.
You've had to fight for justice for your son when he was born, and now you have to do that again.
Yes, it just relives all the memories that we tried to work out and try to get over and put in the past, and now they're just right back.
2 years after learning about the loan, the center filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. According to the bankruptcy filing, the first $50 million loan was initiated in 2009. It reads, the center does not possess any record showing that a loan or line of credit to BFG or any other party was authorized by the center's board of directors or any other party at the center. The second $50 million loan was initiated in 2012. This document also alleges that the loan agreement was executed by Todd Belisle, president and board member of the center. This is Belisle from a promotional video from 2009.
One of the most rewarding things that we have the ability to do here is to help people.
The document says he has no recollection of signing the loan. But one of Gavani's attorneys filed a motion in the ongoing class action lawsuit against Gavani and his companies. The motion entered this document as evidence, and it appears to be a copy of the loan document that the center says it doesn't have. It shows loan increases were approved with the written consent of the board of directors of the center. Their signatures are right here.
These people need to be held accountable. We're not fighting just for Connor, we're fighting for all the other families as well.
Lots of questions here with very few answers. In a letter from Senator Rick Scott to SSA Commissioner Martin O'Malley, the senator is urging him to take action that protects these families from fraud. Senator Rick Scott writes, while the center's founder faces criminal and civil investigations for his apparent fraudulent misappropriation of trust monies, and I expect him to be held accountable in a manner which not only punishes criminal activity, but also makes the victims of any crimes whole. I also expect the Social Security Administration to act and ensure oversight.
Well, again, as I said at the top, we have to give Rick Scott credit because he said, I'll check into it. He's obviously doing that. But now we look and say, well, how is the Social Security Administration responding to that letter?
Well, Keith, not quick enough. Senator Rick Scott wants an immediate answer, and so do the victims, and really, so do we here at News Channel 8. SSA previously told me a trust is a legal arrangement regulated by state law, and that SSA gets involved only if the individual or entity allegedly misusing the funds is also the representative payee.
Well, there's certainly a case to be made here. The senator's on it, you're on it, and we'll stay on it. Thank you for that. And if you have something you'd like Brittany to investigate, you can call the 8 on Your Side helpline, 1-800-338-0808.